How important are push blocks and push sticks when operating a table saw? Well, I think they are very important, and for every single cut I will use a push stick or a push block. However, they are not equally good. First of all, a normal plastic push stick that you usually get with your table saw. I do try to avoid using them as they actually don't give you much control over the material, okay? They're good for pushing but not controlling the material. A push block of this type with many features is the way to go. Gives you far greater control. As you can see, I'm controlling the board, not the board controlling me. The only downside of these, well, when you actually cut them through on your table saw, your heart stops for a second as they cost so much money. But that's why you do have the push block and the push stick, for them to get damaged and not your fingers, making sure you still got full control of your material. However, I think this DIY version of a push block is a much better solution. Gives you a very good ledge for pushing through your material, having control over your material, and you can adjust it to any thickness of your boards that you may be ripping through. Now let's talk about materials we can actually use to create our push stick. Now usually the ones from the market you can buy, well, they are made from plastic. Some of them will have a rubber padding as this push block, and when you do run your blade through it, it will cut through the rubber rather than the plastic casing. But that's sometimes not the case, and you will hit that hard plastic with your blade. In a similar way, with the push stick, well, that's all made from very stiff and hard plastic. So if you accidentally run your blade onto this, well, it's gonna create some damage to the push stick, and maybe it's gonna take it out of your hand as well. So from that perspective is a little bit dangerous. So making a push stick from plywood or maybe pine, like a 2x4, or maybe you want to go a little bit fancier with some hardwoods like ash or walnut, should be the right choice, right? Well, in my opinion, not necessarily, as the push stick is there to help you push the material through. So in theory, it's not going to touch the blade itself. And in some scenarios, you do actually want to have your push stick or the push block go over the blade itself, so you're gonna have more control over the cut. And in that case, having your push block or push stick from, well, fairly hard plywood or hardwoods or even pine will give an extra resistance as you are pushing the material through, and the blade goes through that push block. So I think the best material for a push block or a push stick is actually MDF. There's no wood grain in this material, there is no fibers, and to be fair, it is actually a fairly soft material, so your blade will go through this a lot easier. The MDF I'm going to be using is 18mm in thickness, and I'm going to be creating two types of push stick. First of all, just a thin one from the 18mm. However, the second one will be a 2-layered push block. Okay, so I'm going to use two pieces of the MDF glued together to give me that extra thickness. So first of all, let's design our push block. I want the back to be about 5 centimeters tall and then rising to about 13 centimeters. And I'm going to mark about 6 centimeters from the edge. And now I can connect both of these points. Now, how long should your push block be? Well, that depends on you. In my case, I'm going to go for 30 centimeters. The front will be at 3.5 centimeters high. And now simply, I'm going to connect the dots. And somewhere around here, I'm going to have place for my fingers. Now, if you do want to go a little bit more fancy and you don't want to have those sharp corners, well, you can use a tin of spray paint, for example, and add some radiuses to the edges, so everything is going to look a little bit nicer. Now, there's many ways and many tools you can use to actually cut out the shape. In my case, I'm just using a jigsaw, and I will refine the shape with my sander. With the shape now cut out, now have a look where is the most comfortable position for you to actually hold this. Where will your fingers go? And in my case, I think I need to cut out an area for my fingers actually somewhere around here. Okay, so always check that out. Okay, you don't have to follow some strict guidance. Check where your hand will actually fit on the push block. And to cut out that opening, I'm actually going to be using a 30mm Forstner bit on the ends just over here. I'm just going to mark the positions for them. Okay, and now I can trace the shape I want, just like so, and I'm going to cut out the middle again with a jigsaw. And there you have it. That's more or less the first step done, cutting out the main shape. But now it's time to refine the shape just a little bit. I'm just going to be using my Triton sander, but you can use any means you've got to your disposal. And that's the shape I was going for. Now, in reality, you do actually want to have at least one of these as a template, so you can easily recreate this without any hassle in thinking about how to do it again, as it's there to be damaged. Okay, don't be afraid to get the saw blade in your push block. That's what it's there for. So what I'm going to use this for is to trace the exact same shape, and I'm going to cut out 2 or 3 more, and I'm going to follow the same process to create the copies. And we've got our 2 pieces. Now actually, before I'm going to refine the shapes of these, I'm going to glue them together, and together I'm going to refine the shape so it's nice and beautiful. So a bit of wood glue, spread it around evenly. I'm going to leave it like that for about an hour, maybe 2. With the thicker version now gluing up, let's turn our attention to the original. Now I've cut out this piece of MDF to become our stopper from the back. It will be able to go down or go up depending on what is the thickness of your material. I think that's going to be very, very handy, and it will give you a bit more control. However, you definitely don't want to use any metal fasteners like a metal bolt and a metal wing nut. That's asking for trouble. So my suggestion is to buy these plastic bolts and plastic wing nut. You can get them on Amazon or eBay with no problems. I'm going to drop some links to these down below in the description of the video. I think that's going to be far better solution and a lot safer. I'm going to take off the head as we don't need that, and we're going to create an opening, well, with just a drill bit through there, and I'm going to install that bolt just inside, and then we're going to be able to lock this piece with the wing nut. Very nice, simple and easy. Right, so we need to pre-drill 2 holes. One will be for the plastic bolt, and the other one I'm going to install a dowel, making sure that this goes up and down in a straight line. And I want to pre-drill both of these pieces at the same time. Just make sure both of the pieces are nice and flush. Now what you can do with this plastic bolt, you can just glue it inside. However, if you do have the tap tools, well, you can thread that through. And there's one thing that we need to do to this block, mainly cut the middle out so we can slide up and down. And I'm going to be using, again, my jigsaw to do just that. Now I can glue in the dowel, and you only need a small tip sticking out. It's just for guidance. Now we can add the plastic bolt. However, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna add a bit of CA glue. So basically, as we are gonna be doing the wing nut, the bolt's not gonna undo itself on us. And I'm gonna give it a few minutes as everything cures. And in the meantime, we can refine the shape of our larger, thicker push block. And I'm just going to follow the exact same steps we did with the thinner version. And now simply we can put things together just like that. As you can see, the whole project is really that simple. And if you do have the template, it's so easy to actually recreate this and just make another one when the bottom will get eventually damaged. So yeah, as simple as that, really nice and handy. And in the same way, we do have the larger brother as well. That gives you a bit more surface area. And again, the same principle. You can just get this lowered to exact thickness of your material. I think this is absolutely fantastic. The thinner version will be better for those narrow cuts, okay? Gives you a lot of control. And check this out, just drop it down like so, and that's established to the correct thickness of your material. How cool is that? Right, let's make a cut, or maybe few of them. And there you go. I think they work brilliantly. They give you so much control as you are pushing your material through the table saw. Brilliant. Now, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, drop me that like button down below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing as well. At this point, I just want to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And hold on, before you go, check out these two cool playlists. Plenty of fantastic videos already there. However, for today, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.